Of your own party's announcements in the last couple of days. Curious one, this important subject to a lot of people, which is the rights of trans people and the rights of women, and sometimes those rights seem to be in some conflict. The party stood on its head, hasn't it? It's ripped up its policy, said it was in favour of self-ID for trans people, and now you say you're absolutely not in favour of self-ID. Why not?
Well, we've always said that we wanted to reform the process of gender recognition and give dignity to trans people in that process, and that hasn't changed. Of course, though, we have to, as we all do, learn lessons from what happened in Scotland, and there is no purpose at all to going ahead with a change that doesn't command wide public confidence, and you end up back at square one, as is what happened in Scotland.
So you've adopted the Conservatives' policy on this contentious issue, having, I might say, condemned the Tories, I'll give you one quote, for fanning the flames of populist hate, and attacked your own Member of Parliament, Rosie Duffield, who was on the programme yesterday, so much that she considered leaving the party because her views were described as extreme. You've now adopted them.
No, we certainly have not adopted a policy of fanning the flames of populist
No, I meant
hate.
you'd adopted the policies of Rosie Duffield.
Well, look, I have great respect for Rosie Duffield, and I've said throughout this, Nick, that no voice should be silenced in this debate. Respect on all sides is what's been required, and that's precisely what is pushing us towards the policy that we are going to implement if we are privileged to become the next government, because we do need that additional dignity in the process. It is the case that having that diagnosis of gender dysphoria, previously that was a psychiatric disorder. That's how it was classified. It no longer is. Okay. But it is important, and just to make this point, that people do get to access that medical support they need during that transition process. But it is also important, just final point, Nick, that at the moment, going through that process would require an anonymous panel of doctors to make a decision.
Yeah,
it
and
should
that's changing.
be one doctor supported by a registrar. These are the kind of changes we need to make that will command that wide public confidence, but give the dignity to trans people that they, of course, deserve.
Understood, and thank you for joining us. Shadow Secretary of State for International Trade, Nick Thomas-Symonds there.
It is 9 minutes to 9 now. The solution to the cost of living crisis? Lab